All right. So, all right. Sounds good. I just want to thank everyone for being on tonight. I know there's just a few of you, so we'll go through this quickly and as pain-free as possible so that we can get you guys off and on with your night. Oh, there we go. All right. So just the agenda is typical preseason webinar. We'll go through everything, and at the end we'll have questions if anyone has anything. So we do have a sports management team for kayaking. As you can see on the screen, we have Jack from the Upper Shore, Steve Whiting and Jim Garlock, both from Frederick, Al Jank from Anne Arundel, Mike Myers from Baltimore City, and Erica Wheeler, who is a Carroll County athlete, is going to be on it. And Alan Seaford is still deciding if he wants to join us or not, but these are all the confirmed sports management team. So this group and I will work together and try to make kayaking even better than it already is for our athletes. So these next couple slides are just the typical slides, go through the paperwork and all of that. As in every event, no athlete or volunteer can participate without a valid and current medical or volunteer application. Please make sure you are aware of when the medicals and volunteer applications are expired so that we don't have issues and we don't have to tell people that they can't participate. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. All she needs to do is get a valid copy of her medical, um, and give it to Sharon, and have Sharon put it into GMS just like a new athlete, and we'll add her in, no problem. All right. So here are the kayaking deadlines. These have been sent out to you, but just to go over them again, the training deadline to have everyone who will be training with you in kayaking has to be in GMS in the training section by July 14th. Okay, we need to make sure everyone is in, whether they're coming to states or not. If they are training with you, they need to be in GMS. The last date for missing forms and updated medicals is 7/22, so July 22nd is the last day to submit any missing forms to the headquarters. All athletes, and volunteers and coaches and partners must have a valid medical or volunteer application through August 27th. It can Yes, you still have to have a medical, or not a medical. You just have to have the volunteer application. Oh yeah. Volunteer applications and medicals have to be good until at least July 27th. Not for the medical. No, the medical is only for the athletes. Yes, coaches just need the application. Um, Competition deadline is 8/4, so in GMS, this is where all the athletes will be added in to their events. If they're not in by August 4th, they will not participating in time trials, because time trials are the following week, and so we need to start getting everything set. And so anyone after 8/4 will not be allowed to participate. Same slide. Go ahead. Correct. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, great. I'll make sure I send that out. Actually, I don't want to send that out just because. All right, and for the coaches that are on this webinar, legitimate reasons have to come through SOMD. So you have to come to me um, or Mike Zarnowski to make sure that it is a legitimate reason. So don't just send them to Jack on that Monday. Make sure you come to us before time trials. Okay, so as we said, athletes have to have the medical, um, complete medical. Please make sure everything is 100% complete on these medicals so we're not sending it back and forth. I'm not going to go through these. These are just the pictures of the applications and the athlete's medical. You all should know what they look like, but we stick them in here for your reference. So this is page 2, then page 3, which is the housing and concussion waivers. Please make sure both are signed. If only one is signed, it will get sent back as incomplete. And again, I'm not going to go through and read all this. It's all the same information as every single webinar that we have, just on the volunteers' applications. Mm-hmm. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, for that, they would go through Jeff. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. And then Heidi will go through Jeff. That's perfect. Thank you, Jack. All right, so incident reports, same as always. Just make sure any incident that these forms are completely filled out and sent into headquarters so that we have a copy of it. Sanction form, like I said, same as always. Make sure this is complete if you're going to host a qualifier, which we do recommend. Obviously, besides time trials, you have to participate in at least one qualifier before time trials. Head coach certification. Nope, I'll take care of that. You don't have to worry about that. Head coach certification, same as the past couple of years. This was implemented. Yes. None that have come to us, but I know St. Mary's is going to be hosting one. A couple other counties usually host like in-house qualifiers. Yeah, you just have to work it out with the coach running it. Great. All right. Okay, so the head coach certification, as we've said in the past couple of years, we're starting to require it. Valid for 3 years. We will have an in-person training. It will be sometime mid-July. So we will send that date out as soon as we get that set. It will be in Chestertown. I know last year it was very well received, great comments, so we're going to try to do that again this year for some other coaches. There's also this Coaching Special Olympics Athletes course that you must take. If you would like to host one in your area, please let us know and we'll help arrange for clinicians to come out and host it. If you're interested in hosting one, just reach out to your regional sports director. These are all the ASEP courses that you can take online. There's actually not a kayaking one on ASEP, but that's why we recommend the in-person one. You will be going on the water, so it's a great experience. Same as always, these are the approved courses. I'm not going to go through all these. You've seen them before, and the slides will get sent out. Same thing. Just these are just different general coaching courses that could be taken. Alright, so into kayaking. So the events that we are offering are the 100 meter straight, the 200 meter straight, the 500 meter straight, and the 1K. The 1K was new in 2015. We had a great turnout for the first year, so we are bringing it back again for another year. Entry processes are the same as in the past. The athletes can enter up to 2 individual events and 1 doubles unified event. We are going to keep the 1K as a bonus event this year, again, just like last year. So if the athlete wants to compete in the 1K, then they can do that as well as 2 other individual events. So this will not count towards the 2 individual events, same as last year. But again, as in all of our events, athletes cannot compete in the 100 and the 500. So the 500 is considered the long distance, and so they cannot compete in the 500 and the 100. If they compete in the 500, they can compete in the 200, or if they're in the 100, they can also compete in the 200, but they cannot do the 100 and the 500. Anything else, Jack, with that? Okay. Hi, Jean. No, not for this year. Correct. Yeah, we'd like to add longer events. We just had to figure out how to make the course. So this year, yes. Okay, so some safety reminders. And again, these are just reminders. I know you know them all. Athletes must remain in their kayaks at all time. Legs in the kayak at all times when they're in the water. Athletes, this is a big one, athletes must be seizure free for 1 year prior to competing. Jack, you want to say anything else about the safety issues? Okay. New rules were posted in 2014, so nothing has changed since then. So all the rules from 2014 that we've been using for the last 2 years will remain the same. Uniform, they have to have the shirts and shorts / pants at all times. Helmets are optional, and water shoes and sunglasses are recommended but optional. Yes, starts will be held starts just like they have in the past couple of years. Jack, you want to talk about equipment? All right, thanks, Jack. Great, and actually I was just about to tell you the slide is on water safety, so there you go. Just a reminder, coach is not allowed on the water unless we have asked you to help as a safety boat or a lineup helper, and that means no one is allowed on the dock as well. Unless you're taking an athlete out to switch them out on the dock at the start line, no one is allowed on the dock. So that was a big thing. We tried to fix it last year. Parents, coaches, volunteers, no one's allowed on the dock during the competition. Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. Rules for all the events, same as in the past. The racers are going to be started by saying athlete ready, followed by the air horn. So that's what we've done in the past couple of years, and we are going to stick with that this year. So please make sure your athletes are aware of that and they are practicing with those commands. Specific rules for the straightaways. Jack, anything you want to talk about in this? Yeah, and if the athlete travels fully outside of their lane during the competition without impeding other athletes, they will get a 5-second penalty for leaving their lane. And an athlete must get back to their proper lane to finish the race. If they finish outside their lane, then they will be disqualified for that race. Qualifiers. Same as always, what counts as a qualifier, you have to follow the SOMD rules, have certified officials and judges, have medical personnel, that's a big one, and ideally have 3 or more counties to count as a qualifier. It doesn't have to have 3, but we'd prefer 3 or more if possible. And please get us a sanction form as soon as possible if you're going to compete one. So as always, the required time trials will be held on August 13th at the Boathouse in Chestertown at Washington College. We don't have any qualifiers scheduled yet, but hopefully we get some soon. Like I said, I know I know St. Mary's is looking to possibly host one, so if they do, I'll be sure to get all the information out to everyone. These are just the dates again, same as always, same as the previous slides, I'm sorry. And so the state competition is August 27th at Washington College at the Boathouse, and the kayaking coaches training will take place at the Boathouse as well. We're hoping mid-July. So once we get that date set, I'll be sure to get that out to everyone. Oh, that's great, Jack. Thank you. These are just some resources that you can go to. As I said, these slides will be sent to you, so you can go on these links at any time. And I would suggest going to the Special Olympics page. It has a lot of resources and videos that will be good for you, for all coaches. All right, any questions from Pam or Jean? Or anyone else that's on? I don't know if anyone else joined us since we started. It'll be around the same time as always. Yes. Hopefully. So that means the races start at 10, so if we can get there around 9, 8:39, that would be great. Yeah. So we're hoping to have the races start at 10 both days, if not earlier. And we want to obviously try to be early with our time and not run late like we do at some events. Yes, Pam. So, yeah, like Jack said, only the head coach has to go to the coaches training. I mean, it is open to the assistant coaches as well, but it's only necessary for the head coach. It's only required for the head coach. The in-person? He did. Yes. Yes. And they can take that online if they want. Yes, they have to, all coaches have to do the concussion. Yes, head coaches, assistant coaches, any volunteers, everyone has to do the concussion training. Okay? Any other questions? All right, well, we got through this pretty quick. Well, thank you all for taking time out to join us. Like I said, I'll get these out to everyone. Yeah, sure, no problem. All right, everyone, have a good night. Thank you, Pam.